A Huntsville man is using his story of overcoming drug addiction to help others facing similar struggles. After a 7-year journey to recovery, David Wilborn's life is now an inspiration. Our Mary Stackhouse sat down with him and has his story.
David Wilborn walks into a meeting with an attorney he works with in his role at Rise Recovery. At Rise, he works as a recovery coordinator and gets to help others battling opioid addiction.
There was a lot of stuff that I was dealing with emotionally. I just didn't know how to deal with it properly, other than self-medicating.
He turned to alcohol and marijuana as a teen.
My parents had divorced when I was 10, and I think at the time I tried to act like it hadn't affected me.
After a football injury in high school, he took his first opiate.
I really jumped into opiates. The alcohol and other stuff, it wasn't even on the radar. It was like, why? All my focus was driven towards that.
It wasn't long before he was using OxyContin.
My whole senior year was spent in a daze because most of the time I was high on Oxy.
In his first year attending the University of Alabama, he says he was addicted. He cleaned up his act to serve our country in the United States Marine Corps, but once his time serving was over, he turned back to opiates.
My parents set up an intervention on me and it caught me off guard, and eventually, just to not deal with it, I was like, yeah, I'll go. And that began a process of, okay, David's in treatment, okay, now David's sober. David got arrested, so we'll send him back to treatment. David gets sober, David gets arrested, and it was just that whole process for about 7 years.
The road to recovery full of challenges.
So I'd be all in one day and I'd be on the fence the next.
Failure and relapse were also part of that journey.
All the failures that I had with, going to rehab and getting out and falling on my face, or I'd tried, this, that, and the other, all got me to a point where it's like I figured out what works for me.
He did a recovery program at his way where he completed 1 year of rehabilitation and sober living in January of 2015. Now, 4 years later, he's helping others battling opioid addiction.
You form that therapeutic alliance with somebody and it's like, okay, they open up about everything because you've been there.
Wilborn also speaks to students about the dangers of opioids and is involved in walks that help raise awareness, like in Heroin Huntsville, where thousands come out to show their support in the fight against opiates.
Being able to help people, because a lot of times people who are in that aren't going to want to deal with someone who hasn't been through that. So I've been able to help a lot of friends, close friends. I've been able to help people I don't know, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm still sober today, is because I'm doing that.
Though his journey has been a long one, Wilborn says it was worth the struggle to now be free.
I just had a baby girl, and this time in my life right now is so much more beautiful because of all that.
Wilborn now fueled by purpose and resolve.
If it's not going to help me in my life, it's not going to be a part of my life.
Putting the Valley first, Mary Stackhouse, WZDX News.
To those struggling with addiction who want to get free, Wilborn says no matter how bad it is, you can still make it out and go on to live a successful life. Head to the Rocket City Now app or website for more information about the resources that helped him on his journey to recovery.